Hello there, folks. My name is Spoonks, and welcome back to another episode of Box Office Chat, where I discuss what happened at the top 5 domestic box office, see where each movie landed, and see how well they are all doing. So let's jump right into it. Number 5 is The Croods: A New Age, which made $626,000 this weekend, adding to a domestic total of $55 million and a worldwide total of $160 million. So this now puts it at $2 million behind Tenet's $57 million domestic taking, and once again, past me is going to be proven wrong, as I only thought this movie would just end close and it would die out, fade out at like probably 54 million, and now we're already beyond past that. It's like getting very, very close to the point where I think Warner Brothers and Christopher Nolan are definitely very worried at how well this movie's been doing. So yeah, I definitely think it's safe to say that the Crude will be able to make more money than Tenet domestically. I do not believe I'll be able to talk about it on this show, seeing how the number of new movies that people are really interested in seeing, which we'll talk about at the end of the video. But for right now, these number of movies will definitely push the Crude out of the top 5. So unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to talk about this milestone, but when it inevitably does, I gotta say congrats to DreamWorks, congrats to the Croods, congrats to the filmmakers. You made a movie that families really wanted to see and helped theaters out a lot. Number 4 is the Courier. I butchered that name. I apologize to everyone who worked on this movie, but it made 1.8 million domestically on its opening weekend and is sitting at a whopping $2 million worldwide. So yeah, not a whole lot to say on this movie except that it's another drama that I landed where I expected it to be, and this will probably be the only video where I talk about it. Despite that, I heard good things. I also can see why the film did not do as well, seeing how I saw very little promotion, and I'm pretty sure not a lot of people saw it. But I was still surprised that it opened to a little over a million, probably due to the Los Angeles theaters reopening again, which is definitely a good sign, and I definitely think that helped push this movie over a million, because without it, probably made a little over $800,000 at the most. But still, yeah, not a lot to say on this movie. So let's move on to number 3, which is Chaos Walking, which made 1.9 million this weekend, bringing its domestic total to 9 million and its worldwide gross to 14 million. So it's about to cross the $10 million milestone, and I'm sure it'll cross 15 million in the coming weeks. Not sure if it'll be able to cross 20 million. Think it'll get close domestically, but probably end up like around 17 million at the end of its run, while crossing the $20 million milestone worldwide, which I gotta be honest is a lot better than I thought this movie would do, but still, given the budget, it's not saying all that much. So yeah, basically my thoughts on how this movie is doing at the box office is the same as how everyone who saw it perceived the movie. It's better than expected, so I guess that's something. Now let's move on to number 2, which is Tom and Jerry, which made 3.8 million this weekend, bringing its domestic total to 33 million and its worldwide gross to 77 million. So this movie just crossed the $30 million milestone domestically, which is great, and given how well it's doing internationally, I do think that this movie will be able to cross the $100 million mark worldwide, which is also very good, especially in these times. As for domestically, I definitely see it making tons of more money, because it had the best hold this week of like a little under 6% from last week, which is insanely good. Even in normal times, that is insane to pull off, and this movie managed to do it this weekend, which is really good. And I might even go as far as say that it'll make more than Wonder Woman 1984 domestically, which I'm sure Warner Brothers will be very proud of. So yeah, Tom and Jerry is doing really well domestically, and is another titan in these family movie he's releasing in the post-pandemic that are doing really well. Who would have thought? And finally, let's end the video off with the number one movie of the weekend, and that is Raya and the Last Dragon, which made $5.1 million this weekend, adding to a domestic total of 23 million and a worldwide total of 85 million. So this is another family movie that just crossed a recent milestone, as it crossed the $20 million milestone this weekend, which is good, and this also puts it at $10 million behind Tom and Jerry's domestic total, which is also good, because normally when you have two family movies released so close to each other, one of them would overtake the others and leave them to bite the dust, and that movie would become the hit and the other one would be a flop. But no, it seems that they're both making the same amount of money, and families are supporting both of them, which is great. And in this movie's case, more so, seeing how you would either have to watch it on Disney Plus for $30, which is just insane. And this movie is also playing in far fewer theaters because, like I said last time, Cinemark, Harrikins, and Cineplex in Canada have refused to show this movie, so that puts it in far fewer theaters than many of the movies mentioned in this video, and it's still top of the box office, which is great. Word of mouth is definitely helping this movie make the money it's making in the States, and this is another family movie I think will cross the $100 million very, very soon, especially since how, despite its 10 million behind Tom and Jerry domestically, it's 8 million ahead of it worldwide. Like I said, 85 million worldwide is Raya's total, and 77 million is Tom and Jerry. So I think it's safe to say that $100 million worldwide is in the bag for Raya and the Last Dragon, and there will be plenty of more money and families showing up to see this lovely movie. And so those were the top 5 domestic box office results, but we're not quite done yet, as we still got another week ahead of us and new movies that are going to be released. And this week we have one major release hitting theaters this weekend, and that is Nobody. Now, this is an odd little movie because it's a Bob Odenkirk action thriller that's rated R, and it's original, and it's sort of like the John Wick movies in its style and its narrative, but I honestly don't know how well this movie's going to do because Universal has been promoting this movie like crazy. They did a whole Super Bowl commercial, and they did this little behind the scenes featurette where they showed off how Bob Odenkirk prepared for the action sequences and the fight choreography, but I'm not sure if people are really going to flock to see it when it hits theaters this Friday. I'm sure it'll be number one, and I'm sure it'll probably do good post-pandemic wise, but I just don't really know how well it's going to do. I can't put an exact number or say oh yeah, it's going to do good or it's going to do really bad, but we'll see how well it does when it hits theaters this Friday and when the results are given on the next episode of Box Office Chat. And that's going to do it for this week's episode of Box Office Chat. What did you guys think of the results? Were you satisfied, unsatisfied? Comment down below and let me know. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you like this channel, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on all the social media links right there. And until next time, guys, stay sharp.